business of fashion belongs to a sleek import from Germany.
See what we have to do to make that picture look good?
Leaving her homeland, she struggled, living in a cramped New York apartment full of leaks and unwelcomed roommates.
You open the oven and like cockroaches all over the place.
But cockroaches were the least of her problems. Heidi had to fight for every opportunity. She learned to navigate the shark-infested waters of the fashion industry, sometimes even taking on her own agents.
I pretty much had like this checklist in my head. It's like, that's what I want to do.
Meet Heidi Klum.
I love it.
Hear the delectable details
I'm a big
of the incredible story of how this free-spirited siren stripped down and went from being a homesick homebody
I wanted to go back home, but then again, I wanted to do modeling.
to the hottest thing in German engineering since the Mercedes. Coming up on Model. You've seen her in slinky slips and the skimpiest of swimwear, but you've never seen her like this.
I'm not really a professional yodeler. I wouldn't say I know how to yodel, but for the Americans, it sounds like I know what I'm doing.
In the next half hour, get intimate with Heidi. Meet her supermodel pals.
I think that Heidi will be stunning. She's great, and as long as she stays herself, she will be totally a hit.
The man who became her unlikely lover.
Wasn't love at first sight, but we didn't have much in common at first, actually.
And the people who made her career.
I think Heidi's one of the most beautiful girls on the planet. I just love Heidi Klum.
Find out how Heidi rapidly rose through the ranks from a contest in Germany to risking everything on a whole other continent.
I wanted to go to America. In the beginning, it was hard. You know, you're on the phone all the time and you're homesick.
Heidi Klum was an average teen living outside Cologne, Germany. Energetic and unfocused, she was into everything.
I wanted to be a singer. I wanted to be a dancer.
Sadly, her love of singing and dancing didn't translate into a career.
I could just not stretch all the way down in the split. I could not get my leg all the way straight up.
Heidi had no direction until a friend encouraged the statuesque beauty to enter a modeling contest advertised in a German magazine.
There was a coupon in there, and she said, you know, fill it out. You should do that. You know, you would be great for that. I'm like, okay, why not? You know, and I sent in vacation pictures. I didn't have any pictures at the time, so, you know, from holiday in a bathing suit.
Those candid swimsuit photos beat out more than 25,000 hopeful European beauties.
Out of all the girls that were there, I won for Germany, and then it all of a sudden started.
Part of her prize included a lucrative contract that took Heidi to the fashion capitals of Europe. Her flawless face and phenomenal physique were soon celebrated throughout Europe, but Heidi wanted more.
I went to Milan, to Paris, and then I had enough. So I packed my bags and I went to New York.
A risk-taker by nature, Heidi gambled a comfortable career in Europe for a shot at fame in America, but the road would not be smooth.
It was just miserable. It was raining. I had no friends.
Lonely and homesick, the young Fräulein had to cope with the stress of the Big Apple and the language barrier.
I could hardly speak any English. It was really bad. I could say my name is Heidi and I'm from Germany. That was about it. And the apartment was horrible. I was like in one of the modeling apartments with two other girls. And it was so cold. It was like, you know, wintertime. And it was raining in the apartment. We had like buckets everywhere.
Heidi wanted out of the slum, and her agent wasn't doing enough. So she pushed and pushed for a spot among the heavenly bodies of Victoria's Secret.
I always kept telling my agent, I'm like, I want to go and see them. Oh, maybe you wait. I'm like, no, I want to go and see them. And then I just walked in, and they liked me, and they booked me.
Please.
Alrighty, let's do the fitting.
This way.
But Heidi was still not satisfied. She was already eyeing new challenges. At the same time, she was wondering if she'd ever have time for love.
It's a hard job, too. You have to take care of yourself, and you travel all over the world.
Coming up on Model, Heidi plays as hard as she works, living on the edge while swimming with sharks.
You bring people here and they can swim with them? And never anything bad happened yet?
Not yet.
No?
That happened yet.
I hope not today either.
But first, does Heidi have what it takes to walk alongside the world's most seductive supermodels?
The curves up here, the curves down here, that's what is important tonight, no?
From her humble beginnings in Cologne, Germany, Heidi struggles to get her first break.
Walking down the runway with Naomi, you know, that was like a little bit like, wow, I'm walking with the, you know, best runway model in the world on the runway. So it's kind of like, okay. I trained for that 2 weeks before in the apartment.
Heidi's hot body opened the door to the elite world of Victoria's Secret. But can she walk the walk at fashion's most watched runway show?
Heidi, look back. Heidi. Right here, Heidi. Face that way.
Besides having a great body, the new girls have to have a personality, and they have to have a look, and you know it. You know, there are millions of beautiful women, but there's just something different about someone, and you know it when you see them.
The Victoria's Secret show is like no other.
The beautiful girls in the beautiful next-to-nothing garments that you can... I am a customer of Victoria's Secret.
The music is beautiful, the girls are incredible, and the clothing is wonderful. So it's a good combination.
I'd say it's a pretty hot ticket tonight. What would you say? It's a hot spot to be.
So hot, it's totally exposed on the Times Square Jumbotron. One false move could lay a model's assets bare and her career to rest.
People are filming down up on the stage so they have like a good view underneath whatever we have on, right? Well, they're not filming us straight on. They'll pretty much get us from underneath, no?
Possible.
So that's like
Something to be careful of.
Yeah.
Although Heidi seems serene, inside she's a scared newcomer.
We're not calm.
No, we're a bundle of nerves.
We're not really calm like that.
And to make matters worse,
My hands, they can't warm up. They're like freezing for the last hour.
It's very
I don't know
cold
if it's
in
me
here.
or if it's cold in here.
It's cold in here.
I'm cold too,
Yeah.
It is cold.
I don't know why that is.
I know. We're
Keep us
like
on our
doing
toes.
lingerie tonight, like almost having no clothes on, and they don't even have the heater on.
the chaos backstage doesn't do much to calm the restless rookie.
I just have to go get my makeup done. I don't know where.
As showtime approaches, she uses an ancient folk remedy to help calm her down.
Chocolate's good for the nerves.
Then, with all the primping, preening, and preparation, Heidi seems to relax.
Wait until you just before you go on.
Oh, don't even tell me about it now.
But right when she needs to compose herself, the paparazzi press for more.
Heidi, can you turn on the shoulder here?
Finally, it all comes down to a few fateful seconds. Soon, the newest Victoria's Secret sensation will stroll nearly naked in front of the fashion industry's most influential crowd, including a mob of media.
Keep it smooth and work it.
Modeling's fresh new face has arrived, bringing with her a voluptuous vibrancy, radiating that rare combination of sex appeal and girl-next-door innocence.
I just saw her first cover of Victoria's Secret's magazine, so she's going there.
Her first major runway show was a supreme success, even earning Heidi a nickname from the press, The Body, dethroning Elle Macpherson as the standard for curvaceous perfection.
So your first Victoria's Secret show, how did it go?
I think it went good. It went very well. It was a lot of fun. Backstage, it was a lot of fun. There was a lot happening backstage with the press and everything. It was like more backstage than the actual show. That was so fast. All of a sudden, it's over now.
Heidi's career races ahead. Now an old pro, she's invited back for the next Victoria's Secret show and consistently adorns the pages of their famed catalog.
And I'm on the cover. This time it's a little bit more skin showing. The last time I was a lot covered up.
Like any fine-tuned machine, Heidi must constantly work to maintain her equipment.
It's different than wearing clothes because you really show everything, so you have to work out a little bit more before, so everything is still tight and nothing jiggles when you walk down the runway. I went to a personal trainer a couple of times before just to really get the bun really tight and the legs tight. For me, it doesn't really matter walking down in the lingerie. I feel good, I feel sexy, and you know, I have fun with it, so I'm not too concerned about showing my body.
Heidi's grueling schedule allows little time for socializing, but she does make time to hang out in her favorite hot spot.
I go home and go to bed. Yeah. I have to look good again tomorrow.
Coming up on Model, will Heidi realize her dream man has been right before her eyes the whole time?
It's nice when you meet someone first and you're friends because you can just be yourself.
But first, find out why Heidi got nearly naked and how it helped her high-octane career go from 0 to 60 in nothing flat.
I'm on a roll now.
Yeah?
You better watch out. No problem showing my body on the runway. It's part of my job.
Victoria's Secret moved Heidi Klum's career into the fast lane and gave her the title, The Body. But now, with her career in high gear, an unlikely romance beckons.
We met on a photo shoot before, and it was, you know, it was just like meeting the hairdresser at the photo shoot. We got along very well.
The hairdresser was Rick Pepino, and he would soon be acquainted with more than just Heidi's hair.
It wasn't love at first sight, but we didn't have much in common at first, actually. And then as we got into our relationship, we became more friends, and then, you know, started up like that.
Didn't think anything of it. And then, you know, I got to know him better.
After just 3 short months, Heidi and Rick were madly in love, and he proposed.
I wanted to go to the highest place and the most special place, and it was early summer, and it was beautiful. I had a bottle of champagne and in the ring. I proposed on the Empire State. It's like that was great.
In upstate New York, Heidi and Rick married in a ceremony filled with old-world traditions.
The log we do right after the ceremony, and that is the first thing what you manage together. And when you do it, you can see that it's really hard to do when you do it with 2 people, because you don't cut yourself, you have to get the swing of it. And in the beginning it's kind of difficult, but then when you both figure it out, all of a sudden it works.
Having worked on photo shoots, Rick realized the rigors of a supermodel's life.
This is a period of time that her career is traveling. So it's not forever. I understand that, so we just deal with it.
2 of her fondest wishes now realized, the man of her dreams and Victoria's Secret. Only one elusive goal remained, and once again she had to push and fight to make it happen.
If it doesn't happen, fine, but at least I want to try it. You know, so I said to my book, okay, the next thing I want to go attack Sports Illustrated. I want to go. I'm not the skinny girl anyway. I'm more the feminine with, you know, with the curves.
Her agency was well aware that The Body was on a hot streak, so they raced Heidi to the editors of the sizzling swimsuit edition.
So I went there, and Elaine Farley is great. She's the new editor there, and she's great. She's like, I really don't like your book so much, but I like you and you coming on the trip with me. And I was like, yay! You know, it was really exciting.
Her career jumped into overdrive. Sports Illustrated booked a flight for Heidi to an exotic island in the Indian Ocean for their upcoming issue.
They go, too, to the most beautiful places. And Sports Illustrated is just such a big thing in America. Everyone knows it. Everyone buys it. And you need a photographer who you get along with, especially when you do sexy pictures, because you can't all do it by yourself. You need to have someone who animates you a little bit and who tells you sometimes, too, how to change positions.
But the drama was just beginning. Modeling's biggest prize, the SI cover, was up for grabs, but it was a closely guarded secret.
What was it like to be on the cover?
Oh, we don't know yet who's going to be on the cover. It's, the cover is like a big secret who's going to be on the cover. So far, nobody knows who it's going to be.
The possibility of getting the cover hangs over Heidi's head. For a young model, it can provide tremendous exposure far beyond the fashion world.
I was doing the Finesse commercial in Los Angeles with thousands of people around me. And Elaine called me there. And she's like, Heidi? I'm like, Elaine? She's like, yeah. And I couldn't believe, why do you have my number? How do you know where I am? I'm already like ding, 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 ding. She's like, Heidi, you got on the cover of Sports Illustrated. I'm like, you kidding me? I'm like, are you sure you called the right person?
But Heidi couldn't tell a soul.
If the press finds out before they change the cover model, and that is too important to, I just didn't tell anyone.
Except...
First thing I called Rick, and then I called my parents.
I'm still working on it to like sink in. This is like the most amazing thing that ever happened to me in my whole career, and it's just, I'm on a roll now. Yeah. You better watch out.
With the comely cover came an onslaught of attention, including a spot on the Keenan Ivory weigh-in show.
My next guest became an international superstar. She's the cover model for the new 1998 Sports Illustrated Swimsuit Issue. Check it out. How does it feel to grace the cover?
Oh, it's amazing. It was always a dream of mine since I came to America 4 years ago.
In just 1 year, Heidi went from the hottest runways to the most coveted cover, and now television. After this exhausting journey, she needs to refuel and pamper herself in the steamy tropics.
But I've never done like, you know, going to the jungle or swimming with the sharks. Like those kind of things I've never done.
Coming up on Model, Heidi grinds her gears and lets loose with some locals.
It's like the chicken dance. Wanted to do it. I'm like Victoria's Secret in Sports Illustrated. That was like my next goal.
Victoria's Secret fueled Heidi's high-speed career, but conquering the cover of Sports Illustrated made her the most famous face in the world, not to mention the body. Not only was her career firmly in place, but she married her best friend. Now it's time to unwind.
We take nice little vacations every 6 months.
And as a romantic rendezvous soon turned into a risky romp for the uninhibited Heidi.
I'm gonna park this baby, no worries.
Well done.
So you want me to go
I think we'll
backwards or?
I think we'll take over from here. Well done.
Enough cruising. The internationally known model is ready to take a dip with some dangerous locals.
Are you getting this? Are you getting this?
Wanting to take a closer look, Heidi prepares to feed the fierce fish, but the fish might feed on her.
He came out of nowhere all of a sudden.
After she musters her courage, Heidi takes the plunge. Back on land, she hacks her way through the jungle with a native guide in search of rare monkeys.
It's exhausting. You get tired very fast, and it's very, the breathing is very hard, and you sweat constantly.
But the heat of the night rejuvenates the German supermodel. Even on vacation, she has to stay in shape, limbering up with the limbo. And dancing with the locals. Never the jealous type, her husband Rick likes to watch. On top of the most competitive industry in the world, Heidi manages to keep her feet firmly planted on the ground.
It's more important to me, the family, than my job.
She's very loving, very caring. As a woman, you can feel it and she'll make a great mom.
Riding a wave of amazing success, Heidi's not ready to trade modeling for motherhood yet.
But we don't plan it now. Maybe in 2-3 years.
Sexy, self-assured, spirited, and always ready for the next challenge, Victoria's Secret and Sports Illustrated took her career from 0 to 60 in record time. This sporty import redefines supermodel stardom.
Everything is just going where I want it to go, and I'm just going with it.